Who is this?
Welcome, Vikings fans. This is the FullSkol podcast.
Let's go!
Yeah. I'm up, I'm down, baby.
In the infamous words of the notorious, we have yet to call him that this season, the notorious KOC. 5 up, 5 down, baby. And for the victory horns, there's the victory horns right there. With the I'm in the way. With the used to be Dalvin Cook, now it's Aaron Jones. 33, baby. Number 33.
Man, I'll tell you. I mean, we kind of might be jumping the gun, but with Aaron Jones getting hurt in that game, going out, I mean, timing-wise, I mean, it's never a good time, but now going into the bye, like, if there's ever time to have a little, hopefully mini injuries, I haven't heard any updates yet.
Yeah, the last thing that I saw, I tried to look it up before we started this evening. We're recording this on Monday. I hadn't heard anything as of today. KOC, I did see that they're going to have an MRI today. CBS reported that like 4 hours ago, but nothing as of yet. And KOC mentioned in his press conference after the game in London that he's got his fingers crossed that it's not going to be a long-term kind of deal, because after he left, the run game was not good. Ty Chandler had 14 carries for 32 yards. I mean,
offense in general was not that great. So we're jumping the gun. You know what we need to do? It's time to head to the locker room.
Let me tell you something. All right, this is the National Football League. 5 up, 5 down. Give it up for yourself. Sometimes in this league, all right, you're going to feel a little sloppy at times. Sometimes in this league, adversity is going to hit. Not one time did I feel anybody on our football team truly doubt that we're going to come in here 1-0 today with our 5th win. All right, but it's hard sometimes. You got to lean in. All right, when it's a sloppy game, points ain't ringing up for your offense all day. You got to rely on a couple things. First and foremost, you got to rely on a cold-blooded dude that's going to walk out there and hit 3 points from wherever I have.
Feel the thrill, baby. Perfect on the season. Perfect. We can talk about it. There's no jinx, right? There's no jinx.
Offensively, you know what I liked? It's a tough day for us. Tough sledding at times. We could be 1,000 times better, and we will. But when we had to have it, we went down, walked our way down the field. Sam Darnold with some huge throws to Justin and Johnny. We go get the 3 points, and then we waited. All right, waited for that one play. And there was play after play, flow, call after call. You guys sticking up for your brothers in this locker room, knowing it might have been one of those days for us, but when in doubt, backs against the wall, we're going to lean on our defense to win a football game. All right, I got Van Gink. I got Bynum. Closer got Gilly. All right, I wish I could throw this all the way up to the rooftops right now. Every single player and coach on defense, hell of a job today. Game ball for everybody. But Gilly, get on in here, man. Come on, Gilly.
Gilly Island, baby. Gilly Island.
Just like that. 5 up, 5 down. Enjoy your bye week.
Hey, we needed everybody, bro. Hey, I love y'all boys, man. We battled to the end.
We love you.
Hey, Vikes on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Gilly Lock. It's Gilly Lock is his nickname. I think they call him something else, but Jeremiah and I call him Gilly Lock because he was locked down, baby.
Dude, Hitman with a hit. Hitman doing what hitmen do, and very likely may have assassinated A-Rod's football career.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people calling for him, like, you should just retire, bro.
Just go. You're not good. You're not.
Dude, that hit
Yeah.
was by today's standards and today's regulations as big and as
Mhm.
violent of a hit
Yeah,
as you can get
because you're gonna
without
get.
getting a flag.
You're exactly right. You're
I mean, that
exactly
was
right.
clean. He hit his shoulder. He was off to the side. He didn't drag him down. No helmet to helmet. No leading with just
Straight
dude,
blindsider
Hitman,
right
bro.
in the back,
And I
dude. Just
saw I saw
whack.
a video today where they were comparing Palomalo and Hitman.
Oh,
And it's like everybody talks about Palomalo. Dude,
mhm.
Hitman stats are way better. The
Way
only
better.
way better, dude. Not even a little bit, like way better. Like tackles. Like Hitman has like 300 more tackles or 200
Oh,
and
wow.
change more tackles. And then it's like a few more sacks, few more INTs. The only thing Palomalo has more is forced. He has like 2 more forced fumbles. That's it.
Well, Harry, he just got into an elite. I'm trying to pull it up here now. An elite company of 30, the 30-20 club. I think is it 30 interceptions and 20 sacks, or 20 interceptions and 30 sacks. But he's only like one of 7 to do it ever.
Wow.
The 30-20 club, yeah. In their career, yeah, he just got into that.
And how many years has he been in the league?
I don't know. He's been in there a minute. He's played at least 12, 15, 13, 14 years, probably, I would guess.
He's getting up there, and he's still playing at a high level, dude.
Oh yeah,
he's still a problem. He's so good. I don't know what to do to celebrate like the London win. This is like the fanciest way I could think
well,
of.
I went south of the border.
Oh,
Instead of going over the pond, I went
So
just international.
I'll just
Right.
drink my tea, my pinky.
With your finger up. With your finger up, for sure.
Jolly good game, old chap.
Yeah, no, that was it's a little bit a little bit of a nail biter for sure.
This was a good test. I mean, it was a good win in that it wasn't just another blowout, and we actually had to play some ball. And it really, two things. Well, for the Vikings, it definitely highlighted our defense because, like KOC said in that locker room speech, defense won that game. Saved
without a doubt.
our ass for sure. And offense just wasn't clicking. And if it wasn't for some, critical pass interference calls and stuff like that went our way, I'd been a different ball game. But that Jets defense is legit. That's part B right there. Like
He came in the league in 2012, so he's been 12 years.
Okay. We had talked during the game and that, like, as we were talking our bets or whatever, like that defense, the Jets, is pretty good. I don't know if we're gonna get all these scores that we're used to.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I mean, JJ was dropping passes even, like uncharacteristic, not even that
for sure.
really that difficult catches, at least not by his standards.
Not for his
anyways.
standards. Yeah, I would say
We're
for the
kinda-
average, yeah.
We're kind of used to that, but dude, like, and we do have to address this. Like, it seems like teams are making adjustments in the second half, and our offense is falling flat second half, and that's not going to be tenable. Like, we're going to have to do something about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, for sure. We're against the Packers. They did a little bit of this, showed up in the second half and obviously scored all those points in the fourth quarter. The Jets. There were a few things. I think the officiating was bad all the way around. I know that we got some, but actually we were penalized more. The Jets had 8 penalties for like 76 yards, and we had 11 penalties for 80 yards. But of course, one of the biggest ones they end up getting a touchdown on, or maybe it was 3 points, was the red-handed kicker, which was ridiculous. I mean, that dude landed. I mean, okay, yeah, he technically ran into his plant leg or his down leg, which is the unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever, 15-yard penalty. but he landed like 3 feet in front of him and like was trying to stop and roll, and he barely touched him. He didn't even knock the kicker over, and they threw the flag, and it ended up. I mean, they came right back out because that was obviously a 4th down. They gave them automatic first down. They came down and they scored. So it was definitely a difference maker. But it also, I mean, some of the penalties that we got were, they were definitely in our favor. You know what I mean? Like, it was not. I think the officiating played too big of a role. Oh, there we go. Nice. I see.
I didn't realize that I didn't have it.
Yeah. The officiating to me was, and I've heard a couple other people talk about it. One in particular that I remember was Richard Sherman. He's got a podcast and he was talking about today, and he's like, to me, the officiating was it was too big of a part of it, which I tend to agree. There was a flag like crazy, and it seemed like in the second half that the Vikings were just throwing the ball up, trying to get a penalty almost. Like, and why wouldn't you? The penalties have been coming.
Yeah, I don't put it past notorious KOC to do that at all. He's like, hey man,
just throw it up.
They're getting flag happy. We'll get our yards that way.
Yeah,
and that illegal shift, like they didn't really spend much time replaying it on TV, but on the one replay they did, I'm like, where?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. When I saw it initially, it looked like somebody came in motion, and it looked like they didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Like they were off the line when they came back and they stopped after their motion. They came around, they were like way off the line. And I don't know if that had something to do with it. I don't know. They, like you said, they didn't replay it a lot. And I was kind of like, are you kidding me? Because that was a huge play as well.
Big first down, if I remember it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure. Just heading back to Harrison Smith now that I see it. 30 interceptions, 20 sacks. He's like one of 6.
Wow.
Or 7. He's one of 7. Yeah. So, and he's like, that's all. The rest of them were like first ballot Hall of Famers, basically. So,
what did I refer to the Jets? Because they had Aaron Rodgers still in green. It was like Green Bay Light or Step Green Bay or something.
Yeah.
Basically like playing the Packers again.
Yeah.
He's like the Step Packers.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, the defense definitely showed up. Here's the thing that I want to talk about, and we can go into some of the stats and stuff like that. Sam Darnold didn't have a great game. We can talk about his accuracy and whatnot. But the overall for me was that as well as I do, as a Vikings fan most of our life, that we are bound to lay an egg. How many times have we gone in, been rolling, all of a sudden we go in to see the 49ers, we go into this, and it's, we think, hey, it's going to be a tough game, but we can win this, and we lay an absolute egg, 42-7. Like, we just get blown out. This game could be the egg, and we won. The offense kind of laid an egg, but we won because the defense is that good. Brian Flores is that good. Harrison Smith, Phillips, Gink, Grenard, all these guys, they're that good. Gilly, that the egg that we just laid on offense, we did not score an offensive touchdown. We rushed one in. Sam Darnold did not throw a touchdown. Sam Darnold threw for 2 touchdowns in every single game, at minimum 2 touchdowns in the first 4 games of the season. He did not throw a touchdown yesterday. They handed off to CJ Ham, which was cool to see him, fullback, boom, old Jerome Bettis type. That's what I kind of get that feeling. Big fullback. And he punched it in, and everything else was field goals and Ginks, pick 6. So what if that's the egg? And it comes right before the bye, which they will self-scout. This is what we've been doing. These are the tendencies. We have this much on film, like you've been talking about on defense. It seems like they've kind of got a little bit of a what's going on here kind of thing. And maybe they're getting a read. But now they can take the week off. They can look at all they're doing. Okay, look, this is what we've been doing on 3rd down. This is what we've been doing on 2nd down. Now they can make the changes. I feel sorry for the Detroit Lions, dude. And
so I think I don't think we're going to have a problem with teams outside of our division as far as like them figuring out, unless they make real time decisions and adjustments, after the half, like we've seen. My nervous is within divisions, teams that we play twice. Because I think watching film is great, but the way B-Flow schemes and hides what's really going on is just, it happens too fast in real time. You can study all the tape that you want, but because he's giving you so many different looks. You're like, because like, okay, one time they set up like this, they went into a Tampa 2, and one time they did this, they went all full blitz, and one time they set up like, they're setting up the same way multiple times, and you don't know what's coming out of it. So you can watch all the tape that you want, but in real time, it's just not. You can't figure it out.
Yeah, no.
But well, real time you can figure it out. I mean, what I mean is like without experiencing it yourself. So I feel like the teams that have the best chance of actually counteracting that are going to be teams that we face twice. So our divisional teams. So Detroit's going to, I think we're going to give Detroit some problems, but then later in the season when we have to face all three of these teams again, because the Bears are clicking now, like the Bears are looking decent. So it's like, could be a problem, you know, like, I mean,
I mean, I guess just as my fandom, I don't think that it will be just because B-Flow is that good. And, what we do the first game, we're going to do differently the second game because they know that as well. B-Flow knows that as well. Like we can't just go up there with the same game plan because now they're going to game plan against our game plan and vice versa. It's the whatever. So, but I mean, obviously any team that you see twice, but here's the flip side of that is that we get to see what they do too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when we're talking about, the Lions is going to be a real test. You know what? It's going to be a real test for the Lions too, because
for sure.
they don't want to see us, and they definitely don't want to come to the bank. So
I disagree. I think they do want. They might not want to come to the bank, but I think Detroit, because they're looking good, they're going to be riding the high of that ass whooping last week.
Yeah.
I think they do want to see us. I think they want to see us to test their mettle.
Yeah.
Which is how we need to be looking at it instead of like nervously. It's like, hey, here's another opportunity to show ourselves and to show the world and the rest of the league like we're legit. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that doesn't think that the Vikings are legit at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's some haters. Just
my bro, put those stats up. The other 5-0 teams, or what did he share on our text?
Yeah. Was that him?
No, it had something to do because it was like, the Rams, St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner, and it was
the first,
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
talk about something.
So I think we have to change that mentality, and honestly, I'm starting to get the feeling that Minnesota, like inside that locker room, they have that. For as a fan, we're always like, oh, I don't know, it's a division rival, it's a big game, but I think for them, they're like, yeah, like this is just another chance for us to show who we really are, and nobody's coming into our house and do that. So, I don't think I think Detroit wants to come and see us because they want to see where they're at. But for them, it's a measuring stick because here we're the best team in football, and the next game that we play is against them. So yeah, they're definitely going to want to come in and prove their worth. But it's not like we have to say, okay, now we're playing against a better team. This is a great measuring stick. No. We're the measuring stick. Now, it's not we're measuring ourselves against the other teams in the NFC North, which by just as an a side note, we are the only division in football that all four teams have a winning record.
Yeah.
We are the best. We are the best division in football.
And we said that going in, this is going to be a tough division. I mean, regardless, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
So the thing was, it had to do with our time trailing.
Oh, yeah.
We're at 3 minutes, 26 seconds.
Yeah.
So the other teams, in order of least, I wouldn't say most, but more.
Yeah.
And this is the top 6. So since the merger, for teams that have started 5-0, least amount of time trailing, Saints were 0. They didn't trail. And that was this picture he sent is blurry. It's 2003, it looks like. Mm-hmm. 1 Super Bowl. Dolphins in 1984, looks like, maybe.
That's the perfect Dolphins.
107, 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was
San Francisco,
I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. San Francisco 2023. No, they wouldn't have won. Does it say? No, went to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it. I wish I could read that. Yeah, because I don't think the Miami hasn't won a Super Bowl, have they? Or no, they probably have. Just not with Marino. I don't know who was playing then. Anyways,
I don't think they did. I don't know.
2023 Niners, 1 minute 45. Super Bowl. Rams. What is that? Man, it's so hard. Is that 1999? I don't know. 2 minutes 30 seconds. They won. Then it's the Vikes at 3 minutes 26 seconds, and then Broncos 4 minutes 23 seconds. And they won that Super Bowl.
I think they
So-
all won, or they all went,
Maybe.
but it looks like that the Dolphins and the 49ers, the 49ers did not win in 2023.
God, I wish I could.
They
Here's-
lost.
Here's what
for
I'm
sure,
dealing.
because they played.
I'm trying to decipher this.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I looked at it too now, but the Niners lost because that was last year. They went to with the Chiefs and they lost. And
okay.
it looks like just by the lettering of the blurriness that the '84 Dolphins lost too, because Dan Marino did not win a Super Bowl. So
So
yeah,
it's lost and won. Okay.
yeah,
But they
You
went
see that?
though.
Yeah.
They went.
All 5 other teams that started 5-0 that of this group that the very little time of losing went to the Super Bowl or being behind during the regular season. 3 minutes.
Which I will maintain though
And that was
I
in game
actually
1.
don't want to go. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl unless we're gonna win it, because I don't want to become the top
Only
losingest
5-0 team, yeah.
in Super
Or
Bowl
0-5,
history.
yeah. Well, but I mean, we gotta
Also
go to
get-
find out. It beats the alternative of not going, so we got to take the chance. I mean, it's a
Does it?
50-50. Yeah, of course it does. What are you talking about? Slap yourself in the face. What is wrong with you?
It'll miss $8,000 if we
No.
don't win.
Well, we can cash that out anytime you want to, because right now it's, I think, almost 500. I think it's 450 something. I think
I'm
already.
not cashing that out. No, there's no way I'm cashing that out.
No.
Like I said, the only thing that'll like make me cash that out is if something happens, I really need the money bad, or like we go to the dance, but like they're at the end of that game, we won, but like Sam Darnold goes out, right? Or some major player gets hurt and they're not going to play the Super Bowl. Then I'm going to be like, I better just take that money while I can get it.
414. 414.
Yeah, 414. That ain't enough.
414. Yeah. Every win,
No.
it just keeps bumping up. Every win, it just keeps bumping up. Anyway, so okay. So that was my thing, was that what if that's the egg? Because going forward, like we talked about, that was the gauntlet. Okay, we have Detroit coming up, and that's not gonna be an easy game. I mean, we're at home. I feel really good about at home. When we come to that pick, I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody's gonna watch this. The 10 people that watch it. Are we gonna do one next week off the bye, or is this just we're gonna do this and then Detroit, and then we'll wait after Detroit? What do you think?
We'll have to play by ear. Yeah, we can probably do something. We'll watch the rest.
Watch
we
the
can
other,
just
see what the
some
rest of the people
games.
do. Yeah.
Give an update on Aaron Jones injury
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. So we'll plan to do it next week. So we can give that prediction before we play the Lions. But I mean
it'll be later in the week. Just
Yeah.
my schedule's busy in the early part of next week.
So but I think that was it's a little bit of a gut check. So Sam Darnold went 14 for 31, 179 yards. But here's the thing, and this is something that I wanted to 14 of 31, 179 yards and an interception, no touchdown. But this is my argument to the NFL. We had the Jets had 8 penalties called against them for 76 yards. 5 of those I know were DPIs, defensive pass interference. Those yards should go to the receiver, in my opinion. It's kind of like in basketball, when you make an assist and the guy gets fouled, misses the shot, and makes the free throws, that should be an assist because you set him up to score. It's not your fault or his that he got fouled. And so it's the same thing with DPI. Like if they don't hold them, if they don't interfere, do they make that catch? Probably. I mean, you know what I mean?
That would be a pretty big asterisk as far as historical stats go, because you start tacking on receiving yards because of penalties, and people are going to blow out.
But what I'm trying to say is that, like, okay, so Sam went 14 for 31. 5, I know for sure of 5 defensive pass interference. So let's say that he connects with those. It's 19 for 31. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it changes his stats, and it probably pushes them well over 200 yards, because I know there was 8 penalties for 76. So some of them might've been, on the lines or whatever, but there's got to be at least 50 yards worth of DPI. So you're talking about 2 1/4, and it's 19 of 31, or maybe even 18 of 31. So it just changes the numbers a little bit. And so that's where I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, his numbers don't look good. And he definitely, the accuracy wasn't there. There were some shots that he kind of missed. But again, we're up by 3. We get the game close. We needed to score. And who does he go to? 18 down the middle. Jordan Addison, a big shot. Like, there is no, it just seems to me like this is 2 weeks in a row when we've needed points, and both times the Packers and now the Jets, we end up just scoring 3 on that. But it was a difference maker because now the Jets had to go for the end zone. They couldn't just get it in third, and Aaron Rodgers, they were on the other side of the 50. So maybe they play a little bit more conservatively. Maybe they hand the ball off a little more just to get him to close, and they just go for the tie. Probably not in their DNA, but I don't know. I mean, the Jets definitely, Aaron Rodgers throwing 3 picks. That's the first time in his career that he's thrown 2 picks in the first quarter ever. And he threw 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and of course the game ceiling with Gilly Lock. I mean, and Gilly said he knew exactly what was coming. He said, I know. And that's just his veteran status.
He was looking for that. He was looking for that over the shoulder.
Yeah, that back shoulder.
Wait for the receiver.
And the receiver had no idea. So like today they were talking about the Jets, and we don't need to talk about the Jets much anymore, but they're saying, what about Devontae Adams, who wants to get out of Oakland out of is he in Oakland? No, he's in
Oakland.
And in Vegas, the Raiders. Anyways,
Raiders.
So they're like, why would he not want to go play with the Jets? And they're like, if that's him, he knows Aaron Rodgers' tendencies. He knows he's going to put that on the back shoulder, and he probably makes that catch. Yeah, he might, but he didn't. He's not there, and he's not. Who knows? But Gilly knew exactly what was going on, and he played it perfectly. I mean, that was an amazing way to seal the game. So, but there, Aaron Rodgers doesn't look great. The team is not that good, and we knew that going in. The defense definitely played pretty well, but Sam Darnold, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. And the defense, like you posted on the interwebs, defense wins titles. I mean, it's just plain and simple. The defense wins championships. So, and up till this point, he has been playing lights out. And so, what did we talk about last week? If he has a bad game, we can still survive. And sure enough, by his standards, even and by most, no touchdowns, less than 50% completion rating. I don't know what his QBR was. I'm sure it was not over 100 like the first 4 games. But we still find a way to win. So that's what good teams do. And like even what we saw in a KOC's press conference is, when my brother is down, I'm there to pick him up. I'm there to pick up the piece. And B-Flow, I mean, his defense, dude, that defense, like you said, I'm almost excited to watch the defense play as I am to watch.
Yeah, I'm not like, as a football fan, like, I'm not like, I think a lot of people watch it for the offense, and then when their team's on offense, that's when they go and they grab a beer. And I'm like, all right, who's getting the pick? Who's sacking who? We have multiple players, we got Gennard, we got Gink, Hitman. It's just like,
who's coming?
And I think that's different from a lot of teams too. A lot of teams, you might have one star, you got Ray Lewis, right? Everybody's watching. Name me one other player from that team, right? That year.
Yeah.
Nobody can. They know Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ravens fans could, yeah.
Yeah, Ravens fans probably could, but nobody else could.
Yeah.
And to be fair, non-Vikings fans, the only, you might know John Randall.
Yeah.
That's probably it from that era,
You probably know you probably know Ginkle now, Van Ginkle now. Everybody knows that name, Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely a household name for sure. But
I don't know how we're gonna pull it off, but I'm not gonna say it on this podcast for the dozens of people that listen. But
exactly.
I'm gonna give my idea away. But I had another great sticker T-shirt idea this week, and I don't know. I think we're gonna have to send for you, bring you back to Minnesota. We're gonna have to have a box of swag and just start peddling that stuff outside US Bank.
Just go down
because you got Gink T-shirts and signs or big foam fingers or something. We'll sell those. That's the other one that I just came up with. That's gonna sell for sure.
Yeah.
Is this get rich quick? No, but we'll make some money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Then we'll go
100%.
watch the game down at the bar or something.
Yeah,
I don't even need to go
at the
game.
monitors.
Then jump back out and then sell some more on the way out.
Yeah.
We win, of course. Probably won't
They'll
sell
all
much.
they'll all be gone before the game starts. I guarantee you.
Oh, for sure.
Guarantee.
Dude, we'll make a few dollars because the other thing, what we've talked about with my bet, if I do win the $8,000, we're like, oh, we use that to go to the game. We can't because I don't get that $8,000 till after we win. And we need the thousands before we go. So we're gonna have to come up with a plan to make money, and this might be it, dude. I mean,
there you go. Yeah,
dude, t-shirts at $20 a pop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What can you get them made for? 10?
Signs at 15 or the phone signs. Yeah, you can get them made anywhere. I don't know. I'll come up with something, dude.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
to do it.
Yeah. Well, no, definitely. And to your point last week about Aaron Rodgers, it backfiring on him. He was like, oh, I know what they're doing, and sure enough, Gink drops into coverage. And absolutely, I mean, he took 2 steps back, boom, fired that ball off. Gink was not supposed to be there because he was like, no, what are you doing there? And then boom, to the house. You know what? I don't know. I don't know how many other people had that, but at least for me, Applebee's has 6 free boneless wings tonight because of the pick 6. That's like their national campaign. A pick 6 gets 6 free boneless. I call them chicken nuggets. The people that go there all the time, hey, chicken nuggets, they're boneless wings. I'm like, there's no such thing as a boneless wing. It's chicken nugget. It's a chicken nugget. But because of that, it's 6 free boneless wings. So, I actually have an order in for you got to buy $10 worth. Anyway, Applebee's this portion of the podcast brought to you by Applebee's. Thank you, Gink, for the free wings. So a little bit more about the game. Obviously when Aaron Jones went out, Ty Chandler, and so a couple weeks ago, I said, maybe I said it again last week, is that my only fear on this train stopping is Sam Darnold going down. Because I'm like, Ty Chandler's been running good, blah, blah, blah. I probably had to take that back because there was a huge difference when Aaron Jones out of the game and Ty Chandler in the game as the main.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just 14 carries for 31 yards.
But Darnold goes down and it's it.
Well, yeah, no, Darnold is definitely the linchpin.
And I think that's a good point to bring up to people that still have their apprehensions about Darnold. Well, it's just a matter of time before Sam becomes Sam. It's a matter of time. It's like the Stephen A's of the world or whatever. Like, I think that'd be a good point to stop them and go, Stephen A, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Sam Darnold gets hurt.
Yeah.
Does that kill the Vikings this season?
Absolutely.
And then what is he going to say? He's going to have to say, yeah. All right. Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
And then he's the difference maker. You can't say that he's not out of one side of your mouth and then go, if he goes down, they're screwed.
Yeah. Because he is 100%. Nick Mullins. I mean, now Nick Mullins came in one play yesterday and threw for 20 yards, and he put it on Aaron Jones. I mean, that was a huge catch, dude. He mossed that dude so bad. He jumped so high up over his head. But I mean, that was a great throw. Okay, you come in one play and then boom, come back in, slinging Sam. So definitely Ty Chandler, I think was, that's tough. The run game kind of disappeared in the second half, obviously. Justin Jefferson, 6 receptions for 92 yards. He had some big catches. And again, without some of those penalties, if he makes some of those catches without being held or offense, he definitely has over 100. I would have liked to see some of the notes that I wrote down. I would have liked to see on 4th and 2 in the second quarter. I would have rather him just kick the 3 right there. We were up 10-0, I think, at that point, and so it would have pushed it to 13. And KOC went for it on 4th down, which I get it, the metrics and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, you know what? Just take the points. You know what I'm saying?
I struggle with that. I kind of vacillate for myself. I'm like, part of me, and of course, it's hindsight's 2020, so it's easier to say after we don't get it. But part of me respects him for keeping the foot on the gas, right? As you've been hearing people say, part of me likes that. Okay, it didn't work out. All right, well, it's a little bit analogous to Dan Campbell coaching the the Lions and the way they went out last year. It's like
yeah,
by the sword, die by the sword, you know.
yeah, that's
But then
true.
also I'm like, dude, you've got this kicker. Like,
Yeah.
just put it out.
9 for 9, 9 for 9 on field goals, and 16 for 16 on extra points. He is perfect on this season.
At least we wouldn't have to been sweating it out for a last minute Aaron Rodgers touchdown to win the game.
Well, and they had 3 points as well, and they went for it on like 4th and 1 or 4th and 3 or something like that.
Right.
So they could have took 3 points too. Rex Ryan talked about that after the game. He's like, I would have liked to see them, take those points. You know what I mean? Like points are points, and so. But that's nitpicky.
Always easier to say after the fact when it doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you hear that a lot with sports announcers, like they're just always right. Not to go to basketball, but when was it Trent? Who was he was doing color for the Wolves for the longest time. He was an ex-player.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Man, Tucker? No, Trent Tucker.
Yeah, I think it might have been Trent Tucker.
That's right. And he used to drive me absolutely crazy because if somebody made a crazy move, spun and went to the basket and made it, and he'd be like, "That's how you do it, kid. You got to go for that." But if you did that exact same play and it didn't work, it's like that's why you got to slow it down. You got to stop back a key and you got to pass it up. Like he always had. It was always after the fact. Like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. He was annoying. It was like watching those games. Yeah, I was like, dude, you're
crazy.
You're terrible, dude. I don't know how these.
Anyways,
I don't know how these.
All sports guys are kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of all like that. Like they're just very reactionary. Which I mean, how are you not? But it's just so easy to be like taking a 3. Well, yeah, but if he makes it, he's a hero.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't mad at it, but I'm kind of like with the kicker that we have, I have no apprehension whatsoever when he lines up, and I want KOC to give him a shot to kick a 65-yarder. Go ahead, dude. Let's go. Let's give it a shot. And I think it's going to happen late, like with no time left at the half, and we get the ball, and it's take your shot because the clock is over if we give the ball over. If he doesn't make it, they don't get the ball. Like whatever. Let's go for it. So
yeah. Well, in hindsight, I would say, and maybe even during the time, I could have seen him definitely calling the kick play instead of going it, only because our offense hadn't really been clicking.
Yeah.
And he can be like, I know this kid will not. These are guaranteed 3. Let's take the guaranteed 3. But I'm not really mad at it. I mean, it helps that we won the game. I mean, it'd be a different conversation if we lost by 3, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of talking after the fact, like
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I thought about this too, and just putting the cart before the horse and getting the trophy room ready too early at week 5. But has a rookie kicker ever won a Super Bowl before? Can you imagine? Like that kid is a kid. He's a kid. When you see him, there's a child out there. That is a child kicking that ball out there, and could potentially end this year his first season.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? I'm sure it has. I'm sure. Surely it has. Surely a kicker's been on a good team. Somebody's been drafted as a rookie onto a great team and they win the Super Bowl. And
possibly.
Probably not because of them, but no, I have no apprehension when he kicks the ball. I'm like, this is money, dude.
He's got a bad, I shouldn't say a bad habit, but his kicks have this little flare to it. You ever notice it has this little
draw? Yeah, no.
It goes up. It's going like this. I'm like, oh shit! And all of a sudden it just comes back in. You're like,
right back in. Yeah. It's a beautiful
golf shot.
It's just like a golf shot. It's out to the right a little bit, then it just draws right back in, bro. But yeah, no, I
it never goes towards the upright.
I have so much confidence in him. I'm just like, dude, come on, man. This is money.
That's the most un-Vikings thing ever.
I agree. But I don't give it a second thought. So the offense struggled a little bit, obviously. The defense, though, we had 4 more sacks. I think I thought we were leading the league in sacks, but we were second actually to the Giants. The Giants have 22 and we have 20. So I think we had 4 sacks yesterday because we had 16 through week 4. So second in sacks, first in interceptions with 11. The second best is the 9. The Packers have 9, and then the Saints and the Steelers have 6, and we have 11. So We're winning the turnover battle. I think our turnover differential though is only like a +4. So definitely we're only like 5th or 6th in turnover, maybe even lower than that. Top 10 for sure in turnover differential. But
and we're giving up a lot of passing yards too.
Yeah.
That's the other concerning thing
Yeah.
too. That's going to bite us.
yeah,
Yes, at
more
some
than
point.
likely, more than likely. But I mean, you kind of say that because you think it can't continue, but look at the teams that we've played. I mean, the 49ers, the Houston,
Oh
the
no,
Green
yeah.
Bay. I mean, like the other teams that we have on the schedule coming up are not great teams. I mean, okay, yeah, we have our division rivals, and the Bears. They played decent yesterday. They won, and Caleb Williams did some stuff, and he's looking better. I don't think that we're gonna have a problem with him because he's still a rookie. And who are they? Who are they beating? They beat the Carolina Panthers. I mean, please, like you don't.
What's the rookie gonna do against the Beefalo defense?
It's not. Yeah,
Stop it.
no, we're
You are
gonna
not ready for this. This
Yeah.
is big boy time.
Yeah, no, we're gonna run all over. I mean, we're just gonna smash him, dude.
I'm not concerned with the Bears, but looking at our schedule, the beginning part of our schedule, this was supposed to be our rough patch.
That was the gauntlet for sure.
This was like, and even we said we're like, if we make it out of this 500, we're doing good. The rest of our season looks great.
Yeah,
obviously we're doing
sure.
we're undefeated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah,
and against all except for the Giants, against playoff teams, teams that were expected to be playoff caliber teams or even contenders. Yeah. So,
sure.
I mean, obviously the Jets now aren't looking like that. But
I mean, the Jets are struggling for sure, and it was a little bit like that's all we could come up with, 23 and no passing touchdowns and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Like I said, maybe we laid a little bit of an egg there, and now we right the ship going forward, and then we come out and we beat the Lions at home. Then we go to LA. The Rams are not looking good. They got beat last night by the who did they lose to? Oh, they were playing the Packers, and the Packers barely beat them, which I was pulling for the Rams, of course, but they don't look great. And then the Colts come to us on November 3rd. And that's an easy win. The Colts are not good. Then we go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not good. Then we go to Tennessee Titans. They're not good. They're below a 500 team. So then we have the Bears. We go to Chicago. Okay, it's the Bears. Like we're good.
And they're all going to be, most of those will be probably, towards the end of the season, they're going to be playing spoiler at that point anyways.
Yeah.
These bad teams, they're not going to be in contention for a playoff spot. So they're not really going to be playing, I mean, the players are going to still be playing, and everybody's playing for their contracts and they're playing for whatever.
Well, that's the Bears is like around
a little bit of a misnomer when people are like, well, they don't have anything to play. Well, not as a team, but every individual player out there has got millions of dollars on the line for their potential next contract. So
they're always playing hard. Don't give me that. They're playing hard. And then the Cardinals come to us. The Cardinals beat the 49ers yesterday, which is a huge surprise, huge upset. Kyler Murray and stuff like that. Then the Falcons come to us. Kirk O'Chains, threw for 500 yards last week. So, that's something good.
That actually could be a tough game. That's going to be a good game. He's going to have, the narrative of that's going to be a little revenge
Kirk
game.
O'Chains coming back on the revenge tour, all that kind of stuff. But he can't.
I don't think there was any bad blood.
He can't handle
bad blood.
No,
it was on him for not taking less and staying with the team or what. Like he's the one that went out and found more money.
But
good for him.
Of all people, he is not going to be good against that.
He can't hold that ball a little bit too long. You're not going to get to check down all your progressions against it.
No.
If anybody knows, he does, because he got a taste of the Beefalo experience last year, thankfully on his side. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, going forward, the schedule definitely looks easier on paper. Again, not to bring up previous, but the last time we went out 6-0 was 2016, and then we finished the season 2-8, and we finished 8-8 overall. That was still a 16-game season. So it's definitely possible. And if God forbid somebody gets hurt.
It's only injuries to me could make us shit the bed that bad.
It's really about it, yeah. And it would have to be
quarterback injury, because
It'd have to
we've
be
already
7.
proven we can win if JJ goes down.
Yeah.
It happened last year.
Yeah.
We can win when our running back goes down.
Yeah.
You know, Havin Cook went down. So
Well, the other thing,
it really is quarterback.
but the other thing that could derail us too would be some major injuries on defense. One of our edge rushers, goes down. Stephon Gilmore goes down because he kind of is out there by himself because B-Flow trusts him enough to bring heat and to do all these things because he knows that Gilly's going to lock him up. So I mean, it's tenuous at best, for sure, because there's a lot of things that happen, but you just never know. You can't say, well, if this is like whatever, we'll deal with that. KOC will deal with that.
Speaking of injuries, so again, good timing. If there ever is good timing for an injury, for Aaron Jones, we got the bye coming up, more time to rest, more time to get back at it. Not only that, he comes back full strength. We're actually going to be full strength because Sabertooth is coming back.
Sabertooth, baby. Yeah, they opened his window up, so that would be some news, I guess. They opened his window up this past Friday, before the London game. He traveled to London with them, and he did take part in practices and stuff like that, and he was there for the game. And so that window open up means 21 days, and then you have to be put on the active roster, or you have to go back on the IR for like a long-term kind of thing. So same thing that we went through with Justin last year. But all signs are pointing. I mean, it could be later than that. It could be the Rams or something like that. But all signs are kind of pointing to that Lions game because
you got to know he wants to be back for that.
Dude, so badly. Yeah. So, we get this week off. He's going to he opens it up Friday. So Friday would be 7. Friday would be 14. They play on Sunday. So it would be 16 days that he would be, active, able to practice and all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, the bye week, I don't know what that looks like for them. If they take a whole week off, if they're obviously they got back home probably today. I don't know when they flew. They flew home right away yesterday, Sunday evening, because that was kind of an evening time. Like that game, I remember them saying something about 5 or 6 o'clock at night when they were playing that game. It was like an afternoon game or whatever. So they probably, stayed there. Maybe they flew home that night. I don't know, but still they're recovering today. And, do they come in to get treatment? Aaron Jones obviously is going to get an MRI today at some point. But so I don't know what that looks like as far as the practices. I'm sure that they're not completely off for the whole week, but maybe they are. Maybe it is. Maybe take the whole week and then you come back in next Monday and then we go back to work like a regular week. I don't know. But
I don't think players are going to want to take a full week off.
Yeah, I would think most of them are in there still working out. They still want to keep that going to the gym regular.
They're starting to smell it now. It's palpable. Like
no, I 100% agree. They're, it's what else can we say at this point? Like we're rolling, and
we're rolling. I think we wrapped it up pretty good. I mean, there's not much. There's no score to give for next week. We never thought. I didn't see us at 5-0 going into the bye this year at all. It's a pleasant surprise. We talked about it last week. Where it's the only we looked like we were good on paper, and the only X factor was Sam Darnold, and he's playing pretty good. I mean, he was a little, like I said, maybe this game was our dud. Maybe this was our one dud where, JJ knows it in his press conference. He's like, definitely things we got to work on in the offense.
Yeah.
So you may be right. I mean, that may have been our egg that we laid and the defense bailed us out, which, good insurance policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of having an L to fix,
still
a dub, exactly. But we got to fix some things.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that we're starting off hot. Every game we're coming out, we're starting off hot. I love that, that we're playing with a lead. Like I said, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And that was in the Giants game. That was in week 1. So in four out of the 5 games, the last 4 games, we have not trailed in the last 4 games against the 49ers, the Houston Texans, the Green Bay Packers, and now the New York Jets. So our 4 hardest teams, we have not trailed.
Well, and this past game was great because, we won the toss, we deferred, we 3 and out them, so we get the
Yeah.
ball right back. So that's like, oh great. Now it's basically we're starting off with the ball
Yeah.
both quarters, except for then we come out and we 3 and out
Yeah.
after the half. So it's like, okay, we'll get that one back, I guess. But
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, but the fast start is definitely a whole lot better than what we've seen in the past. This team just feels differently to me. It just feels different. Like like you said, they're drinking the Kool-Aid as much as we are, and they believe it. I think between those walls, they're like, keep counting us out, keep counting us out. And I don't, we were
I
wondering.
don't know anybody counting us out anymore, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we were wondering after what, like week 3, after we beat the Texans, we're like, okay, now what? And we jumped up to like number 2 in the rankings, and then we beat the Packers, and we jumped up to number 1, and it's like, okay, you guys are jumping on the wagon. But I think KOC, like we talked about last week, he's already told them, look, they're going to come, they're going to want to jump on, they're going to want to be a part of this. None of that matters. Like, we've done nothing, like one game at a time. And he's like, he always says it. I know it sounds cliche, but we're just trying to go 1-0 every Sunday. And it looks to me like this team believes that. All we're focusing on is this game right here. We're not worried 5-0, 6-0, whatever it is. We're trying to go 1-0, and that's it. And if that mentality, dude, is so dangerous, because when that loss comes, because I mean, okay, yeah, we can do the Paul Allen, but that to me is probably the hardest pill to swallow. Is that are we going to go undefeated? I mean, the odds of that have got to be astronomically no, but the way we're playing, I mean, and we beat the Lions after we already beat the Packers. We're 2-0 in the division. Like, you talk about if our momentum and if our belief in ourselves as a team can get any bigger, it's going to be after 6, 7, 8 wins. Like, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like you alluded to, like, okay, now we got, oh yeah, we beat the Giants, okay, whatever, and then it was Houston. All right, well now it's Niners, or Niners, then it was Houston, whatever, and then Packers. That was a real test. It was like, well, this is gonna be a test. This is gonna be a test. This could be, and they were tests. Not to take away, like going to Lambeau and winning in Lambeau was a test.
Yes.
And like I said, we have one more real speed bump left.
Yeah.
That's Detroit coming out, coming out of the bye. So, after that, I feel like it's downhill. I mean, yeah, obviously we got to play Detroit at some point, but
last game of the season again.
Yeah, I mean, that might matter. Like, I think it's going to be.
I hope we're resting.
It's going to be a boxing match. It's going to be a title bout. Like,
no,
quite literally, could be a title bout for NFC North. So
yeah. Well, what I'm hearing here though is that a lot of people they don't. The belief in the Lions this season, even though their record is 3-1, I think they have a bye this week. Is not they're not the same team. Laporta, they're supposedly better than TJ tight end, has done nothing this season. Nothing. What's his name? Hutchinson is definitely not playing out of his mind like he did last year. There's chatter about meathead there, Dan Campbell, and going for it all the time, and people are starting to get frustrated by that because they're they lost that game because of it. Their one loss. Right. So they're definitely not riding that high like they were last year, where this is a different team. They're kind of like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, okay, we're winning, we're 3-1, but yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. And the energy just in my circles that I talk to, which I have a lot of Lions fans, obviously I work with them, a lot of the guys that I hang out with, play basketball with, golf with, and stuff like that, they're all Lions fans, and they're all kind of like, yeah, good for you, man. Like, it's you guys are playing really well and stuff like that. And they're like, I just don't know. I don't know. They're nervous about playing us for sure. I don't know if the team, all that kind of stuff, but as far as the fan base is, they don't want to come. The team might want to come and like you said, measuring stick against us, but the fan base, they're like, yeah. And of course, for me and my boys, we're like, dude, just beat the Lions. Just beat the Lions, because we don't want to hear it, because that's all. I mean, that's all we're going to hear. If we lose to the Lions in next week, that's all we're going to hear. Yep. Knock down the NFC North champs. Yeah, you guys were undefeated until you came to us. Blah, blah, blah. Like, now we have the same record, blah, blah, blah. Now they play this next week, and they play they play Seattle.
Must be something backing up in your neck of the woods, huh?
Yeah, something. I got the windows open because it's
Oh, I was like, here's some sort of backup alarm. I was like, is that me? What's going on?
in the 40s. It's in the 40s overnight, and so I got the windows open to try to cut down. I got the heat turned off, everything, all the fans, all the air conditioning. I got nothing on, and I will ride this no heat until Thanksgiving if I can. It's always my big challenge. 55 degrees in my apartment. I always tell the kids, I'm like, bring a hoodie, bring some blankets or something, because it is cold at Dad's place. So when the butter is so hard that I can't cut it with like a real knife to put it on my toes,
Then it's time.
then it's probably time. Yeah. Because I hate paying that power bill, boy. Anyways, so no, I think that we're good. It's what can you say?
Vikes fans, now we get a or I mean the Vikes fans get a week off. We can just watch football to watch football. And don't have to hold our breath. Yeah, go hunting, go fishing. Everything's cracking off right now.
Right there,
yeah. That's that. So I guess there's nothing else to say. Let's wrap her up. SKOL Vikes, 5 up, 5 down.
5 down, baby.
See you, bye.
And I tell you guys I love you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And that will never change. I will ride with this group until they don't let us play more games.